last decade, we've seen running pick up in India. And not long after did running come to Vizag in the form of Vizag Runners. But before we get to that, I want to ask you, what inspired you to take up running, especially after you retired and at a very young age of 58, you started running. What was the key to that?
Yeah, I was missing sports which I used to play in the Navy. And when I came out, I had to look for some avenue to physically exercise. If you went to play tennis, you needed a court, you needed a partner, and all kind of paraphernalia. So I started running, which I was normally doing whilst in Navy, but here I found the lovely beach road, and I said this was the place for it. And I started running long distances on the beach initially, individually. Subsequently, I found there were other runners too, with whom I could run along. And that was the start of a beautiful running journey in Vizag.
Yeah. So the beach road has been in Vizag all along, but running hasn't been. I think it was only after Vizag Runners came up that more people started formally taking this up, participating in events. So Srinivaskar, how did you think about starting Vizag Runners?
Initially, we were all casual runners on the beach road. Later, we thought when we started participating in Vizag Marathon, Bay Marathon, and different marathons all over the country, we thought, why won't we experience and give best kind of experience or best in class event for Vizag Runners? So that's how the thought was started, and we have started Vizag Runners group. And later, we have started slowly Sunday running, and weekly 3 days training. We plan to start. Tuesday we do interval running. Thursday we do hill repeats. Sunday we plan our long runs, map run. That's how it started.
Yeah, these days.
And we have a couple of founder members for that, around 7 people. There was no fund in the community. So we have put in our own money as a corpus fund, and we have started that.
Okay, so these days Vizag is always buzzing in the mornings with runners. Definitely there's a lot of difference in the last decade. So with you, did you always participate in these international marathons that you seem to be running, or did Vizag Runners start your journey? Tell us a little more about it.
No, actually my running journey started with Vizag. My first run was a casual 10K run with the Navy Marathon, Vizag Navy Marathon. And when I participated in that run, I realized what I was missing in my life, and the whole ambience and the whole, the event really took me so I thought I must stay on with it, and I started running more. And then slowly because I also started my running journey very late, I was almost 50 by the time I started running, so I took it slow, and I read about it, and I wanted to go methodically about it. Then I started enjoying it a lot, and then I started participating everywhere else, because very few events were happening in Vizag. So I had moved out of Vizag, and I would go out and do my other runs in other cities. And then after doing a few runs in the other cities of India, then I happened to travel abroad, and I did a few runs there too. And then after that, it's been a continuous journey.
Yeah. What were some of the facilities or aspects in other marathons that you always felt were meant to be in Vizag, and you were able to bring them here? With your experience?
Yes, definitely. When I started running, it was a new thing. I mean, it is still, Vizag has to catch up with women running, I must say, compared to other cities in India. But when I started running, it was very less then. And then I started, there were a few more women also running. So we wanted more women to join, and we tried to motivate them to run. And then even in the events, we all the walkers, we try to motivate them to come and run at least a 5K and take off from there. So yes, safety aspect is always there, because it's a distance running, and we have to do early mornings, and we have to do lonely runs, long runs. So safety wise, Vizag is pretty safe compared to other cities. And in the events, yes, more participation will bring in more facilities for them, because if there are more women participating, we would like to give them more advantages, like maybe a discount code for registration, or some prizes, extra prizes for them, some extra category prizes, and like that. So that's the only difference. Otherwise, prize money and everything is always gender equality. We can't do much about that, but we can, for encouragement, we can give them something more.
Sure.
Yeah.
So speaking about runs and facilities, I think it's important to recognize that sometimes, for runners, simple facilities like washrooms are also missing. So whether it is a day-to-day run or in the marathon, there's so many things that go into making this happen, for a good run to happen, from hydration to whatnot. Let me not name all of them, but I'm sure you are involved in some of these things and permissions. So how was your role in Vizag Runners, and how did you help in making Vizag Marathon?
Any event of this size, and because this being a prestigious marathon for the Vizag city, we need to plan in advance, because the problem in Vizag is we have the beach road, and almost all the events takes place on the beach road, and we are not sure when we propose the run on the proposed date, if there's someone has blocked the road, that will be a problem. So we plan in advance, and almost 6-7 months in advance, and we take the permissions from the municipal authorities, and from the venue we take the permissions, and then we are in touch with the authorities to make sure the lighting is proper on the day, on the route, along the route course, and also the facilities like the washrooms. And if the washrooms are there, if they are cleaned and they are opened at the time in the morning, and we make sure that we physically visit all those washrooms, because there will be women runners, and it will be a problem, serious problem for them if washrooms are not there. So we make sure that washrooms are there, and if they are not there, and we mobilize mobile washrooms, we place it on them. So that is one thing, and the other one is the security. Like when the race is happening, the traffic should be completely blocked. So we coordinate with the police authorities and make sure that the traffic is completely blocked from all the sides, and no vehicles enter into the course. So it's an advanced planning and continuous follow-up, and also we also manage parking facilities for the participants in a couple of places. We provide the parking for them.
Yes.
And we put our volunteers throughout the route. We put our volunteers to help the runners in this.
So we have Radhika Garu here. She's been a great believer in bringing young runners into this event, because I think starting young is definitely something that will take running a long way, especially when it's still nascent in India. So what inspires you to go to these schools and colleges and get these kids to come, because there's a lot of effort that goes into this?
Yeah, that's a good question. Being a doctor, I keep seeing young clients day in and day out who have so many health issues coming out of being very sedentary in their classrooms. It's very sad to see the youngsters not to see the sunrise and nor the sunset, busily engrossed in their daily academic activities. There is no place for them to do any physical activity, nor is it given any importance in the academic curriculum. So I thought, if they are exposed to one thing called running, wherein they don't need a team of players, just one person who is interested, they can go on the road, they can run whenever they have time, wherever they are. They can just have a pair of shoes. The simplest of the shoes also is sufficient. They can do. Only thing is we have to introduce them to the running and the joy of running rather. So if we introduce them to a run like a marathon, where it is like a carnival, even if one person who has come from one school is inspired and take up running, they can inspire their family and their neighbors and the fellow students also. That way they would go on a healthy lifestyle. So I thought, let us go on to the schools and the colleges and introduce our run to them. So we approached the schools and colleges, explained our run to them. We did a little bit of promo runs with them, trial runs with them, and the children were so much excited. And the first edition, they liked it so much. The next edition, they pulled up all the classmates who did not run in the first edition. The second edition, they pulled up all the other classmates also. So this edition, we are expecting so many others to come.
I think running kind of gives a sense of time and distance, and I think it's great great that you're doing this. So going back to you on the other end of the spectrum, there are these young kids who are running, and here you are, like after retirement you've taken up running. So there are a lot of lessons to be learned. What do you feel as a runner when you run? What's the kind of mindset that you get? People talk about it as meditation. Sometimes people talk about it as an adrenaline rush. So what is your take?
Fine. I've discovered that running is pure joy. You feel liberated and free. And a person like me who is balding and looks old draws a lot of attention from passers-by who, wave out or gives me a thumbs up as they go along. And
Yes.
that motivates me. It motivates me because I find that they feel motivated when they see me running. And I think that's a good thing. And it really, makes for a general atmosphere of good health. And even if I can motivate, say, one person in a month, it would be a great thing.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a statement which says the medium is the message. So you are the medium and you are the message. Obviously, the fact that you run on these roads, I think itself inspires a lot of us to take up running and be at it. Yeah.
It's a great joy to be
Yes.
running. I mean, I find it very, very liberating.
Great. So, Srinivas garu, how did this entire journey of founding Vizag Runners help you in your own personal running journey? Have you become an organizer, or are you still a runner? Do you attend a lot of events? And where has this taken you?
Yeah, I learned a lot of things after getting into this Vizag Marathon. And it has become compulsory for me to run every Sunday to motivate at least the group. And my lifestyle has also changed. A lot of learning skills I have learned in Vizag Runners group. Before that, I had no experience of conducting a marathon. So now I think we have now the experience of putting everything in order. What comes first, what comes second, and we have different groups for conducting different activities. So Sunday running we plan. We put a message on Friday only ahead of 2 days so that all the runners can plan their schedule. And how about running, organizing event? Now we have planned to tie up with the different sponsors and planning to go ahead with major. And our biggest achievement is our president's association with Puma Group. I think in our maiden marathon only we have achieved that biggest milestone of getting tie up with Puma, and we have conducted couple of marathons, and I think we'll be successful in getting this for the third time also.
So definitely, I haven't seen any marathon where there's a prominent T-shirt maker or a sporting brand that has sponsored. So I think we're all fortunate that Puma has supported the Vizag Marathon. I think everybody in Vizag now knows that this Puma T-shirt and hot breakfast are trademarks of Vizag Marathon, apart from the running route, which is there for all of us thanks to nature and everything there is. So coming back to you, what's a message that you would like to give to the city of Vizag in terms of the way forward with running? Because you've been across the world,
Yes.
and especially you speak about how the entire city comes out to cheer people when you go to other places, and here we are not there yet. So what do
Yes.
you wish?
Yeah, so that is one thing, like everybody should get involved in this running event. So everybody should come out and experience it, whether they are running themselves or they are simply walking or they are just standing and cheering. It will motivate them. They will feel like it's like, when you go to a disco and you just hear the music, you automatically start swinging, at least swaying, even if you don't want to dance. So you get carried away by the music. It's like that. Like when they come out and they see a running event happening, some hundreds of people running on the street, they feel like, it's such a great thing, and, it's a very natural phenomenon. Running is very natural for every human being, but people think that they can't do it. Maybe they don't have the strength, or it's not their age, or it's not like their gender to do it, or things like that. So, but when they see people of all age, all size, and all category of people running on the road, so they get motivated to run. And so in other countries and other cities it's like that, like everybody comes out of homes and they start cheering the people, they help them, they motivate them, and they also get motivated. So that's what we want our Visagites to come out and do that. So running should improve that way.
Tell us a little more about your running journey. We spoke about washrooms and the route, but I'm sure you run. Tell us a little bit about that.
My running journey started about 5 years ago. I was earlier for the last, I'm in Vizag for the last 11, 12 years. So I tried many things for to be fit, like I played tennis and other things. Finally, I started walking and running on the beach road, where I met our friends on the beach road, and I was made part of the Vizag Runners group, and then my journey started. I joined this group in 2019.
Yes.
So from there on, I run regularly, and for me, running is, as Bharat sir said, it is a pure joy. I enjoy running, whatever the pace and all. I forget all the space and all that, but I enjoy running, and I enjoy running with the group, and I enjoy running solo, and because we are blessed. Vizag is blessed with the beautiful beach road, and fortunately, I stay along the beach road, nearby beach road. So the moment I come to the balcony, I can see all these guys running from my balcony. And even if I have no mood to run, then I will put on my shoes and come to the beach road. So really, running is a good sport, and you don't need anything actually. A pair of shoes are enough to run, unlike other sports. And even if you don't have the pair of shoes, also doesn't matter. You can go to the sand and can do the walk and run and all that we can do.
So just for the sake of the viewers here, you look like a very knowledgeable journalist. I didn't know what you were doing. So, for your age, what is the kilometers that you run? Do you run a full marathon?
No, actually I not run a full marathon. Maximum I ran up to 25 kilometers. So far I've been running only half marathons only, because of the professional and personal commitments. I don't get much time to practice for a full marathon. Maybe I
So
will do
half
it after.
marathon is still 21.1, right?
21.
That's a fair distance.
Yeah,
So,
21.
yeah, I mean that is what Vizag Marathon is currently
Yes.
conducting as well. I think it's a good stepping stone for people who want to take up more distances. Of course, people talk about the full marathon, the ultra, but for anything to happen, I think 21.1 is a respectable distance across the world.
Even 10 kilometers is also fine. If you want to be fit, even 10 kilometers is also fine. But 21 kilometers is a recognized half marathon. So sometimes if you run a half marathon, you get a medal, and it encourages, it motivates yourself to run more or to be active.
So the doctor here is very unassuming, but I think you run a full marathon. I've seen you sometimes, on the beach road, sweating, huffing, puffing, and all this before the start of a day when you go and see patients. So I'm sure that is the passion that you carry, which is why you are helping in the Vizag Marathon coming alive as well.
I have not run a full marathon yet. I have done a few half marathons and a few trail runs. A 33K is the longest that I did so far. But Vizag Beach Road, as everyone else is saying, I'm completely bowled over by it. Like every day sunrise is a different one. You see a different color on the skies. So there is no 2 days which are alike. So I enjoy that. The sunrise in the morning. So just for enjoying the sunrise, if I'm running, that's true. I do that. For my profession, actually my profession being a doctor, I'm a physician. So I just sit in the chair all day long at my desk. So that is my liberation. Run is my liberation. So while running, I get to move. That is when I get my legs to move. All day long I will be sitting. So I enjoy that. So I wake up in the morning, early in the morning, finish my run by at least 7 o'clock, then go to my clinic. I keep myself fit for that. I started actual running at the age of 47 and I'm 54 now.
It doesn't look like that.
As you were saying, in many schools, I want to tell this one. When I go, I ask from the stage, can anyone guess my age? The children keep telling that you're 30, 35, like that. When I tell them my actual age, they say, wow. And I said, if you start running now, when I started running at 47, I'm looking like this. If you start taking up running or whatever activity, you would be like this only even when you grow 60.
Stops.
It stops. You can take care of your health. And I also encourage them, not only you bring your parents along, your siblings along for the run. I encourage like that.
Yes.
At that age, if we motivate someone, it stays. That is the starting stage.
Yes. No, I agree. Running can definitely slow down time. You've spoken about any distance being a respectable distance. So I think if you're able to gather some control over your breathing and running, you're able to appreciate everything else better at that pace.
Yes.
If you're able to see the sunrise. I can tell you from my experience, when I went to the Berlin Marathon, I thought I was going to see the city while skating. But obviously, when not prepared, it's not possible. You have to have everything under control. The entire race got over and I didn't see anything because I was only focusing on my breathing and my steps. But I'm sure doing it as a regular practice when you run, these are some of the other byproducts that you get, which is being able to appreciate your surroundings. So we'll conclude with you, I think, in terms of where Vizag Marathon has come. We've seen, I think, 4,500, 6,000, and we're talking about 8,000. So what are some of the things that you're proud of that have happened in the last 2 to 3 years when you started planning this, and you've seen a lot of moments? So anything that you'd like to share about your proud moments?
Yeah, I think we are proud to conduct our own marathon as Vizag Runners Society. And we delivered the best in class event to Visagites. And what all we experienced in different parts of the country, whether it is a Tata Mumbai Marathon or NMDC Hyderabad Marathon or Chennai Skechers Marathon. We have gathered all the best parts of that marathons. We are proud to say that the biggest breakthrough is that we have given the best T-shirt, best breakfast, best running route, and I can say after South Africa, Cape Town, Vizag is the best route. One side you have lush green hills, other side you have a blue sea, and the rolling hills. This is the best route in. I think you can say it is the best route in the world. I can say proudly.
In weather also.
And the Visagites best part is that Vizag Runners Society, as runners, they give their best in conducting the event, because unlike other events, there are event managers who work for money. We are all work for selfless people. That's it.
I'm glad you brought that point up. In fact, that was going to be my. So it's great teamwork. So how does this happen? Everyone's able to do different things. I myself am wearing one of the jackets that you gave me because we could be approachable to all the runners. So how do you manage keeping everybody active and contributing to this?
And our Vizag Runners' conviction is that do the thing you love to do. And all Vizag Runners, they do because they love running. They are into this Vizag Runners Society group, and everyone is working for the society and for running community best efforts. So they give their best to give the best in class event to Visagites, Vizag Runners, and upcoming runners.
So intent is everything. I definitely see selflessness in all of you and the joy of running. So may this tribe grow, and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.